Coming up in the news, motorists be aware gas prices is expected to climb in the days ahead. Demolition underway in the international bazaar. And the Grand Bahama finishes in the top 10 in the USA Today Travel Awards competition. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now. This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening all, I'm Ramiko Knowles. Topping the news, gas prices could hit the roof in the coming days. While Russia and the Ukraine are fighting a war thousands of miles away, it would have a rippling effect right here at home. Residents are urged to brace themselves for what could be the highest gas price in recent time. Jay Philippe reports.
The battle between Russia and Ukraine has become the main topic of conversation around the world. With the crisis ongoing, a major concern now for residents is the anticipated increase of gas prices, which could climb as high as $8 per gallon. But according to Chief Price Inspector Reno Smith, the cost of gas at 12 a.m. this morning was $4.96.
For the first time in a little while, we're having gas at less than $5. So I would suggest to everyone that before we get to that $8 per gallon mark, we take advantage of the reduction in gas prices today by filling up our tanks. $4.96, you can't beat that.
Smith explains how the process of fuel increase works.
The local gas provider would have applied to the Ministry of Economic Affairs, Consumer Affairs Division, requesting a price change in gas, and permission would have been given to them, and as a result of that the present stock cannot be sold for $8. The present stock is scheduled to be sold at $4.96 in Freeport, and so that $8 per gallon will eventually come.
Even with that, Smith is urging residents not to panic, as there is no shortage of gas on island.
One good thing about Freeport is we have oil refinery right here on this island, and so gas already here in great proportion, and so the present supply would have to be exhausted before new supplies come in with a change in price.
All in all, Smith is advising residents to be critical with spending, while also alerting residents to expect the cost of fuel in the coming days to increase. I'm Jay Philippe, ZNS Network News.
Well, a Grand Bahama man escaping serious injuries today following an accident on the bridge at the Fishing Hole Road. Police tells us that the man lost control of his vehicle at the entrance of the bridge, crashed into the guardrails, and was able to drive off to the side of the road towards the creek. A portion of the guardrail at the entrance of the bridge was broken. Investigations are continuing. Meantime, demolition work has commenced at the International Bazaar. The shopping center was gutted by a series of fires late last year that left the abandoned shopping district in shambles, with just the walls of the majority of the building standing. This past Monday, phase 1 of the demolition process began. Heavy equipment moved in, and reports say the old Ginza building was torn down. Now, officials of the Grand Bahama Port Authority say their role is to agitate and have the owners get involved in the process. Meantime, while phase 1 is underway, port officials say there are many more to go, and they are encouraging owners to come forward and work together with them to devise a plan to have the buildings demolished for the overall enhancement of the city. In other news, the Ministry of Housing breaking ground yesterday for a housing project in Central Pines, Abaco. Hurricane Dorian destroyed many of the homes in the Abacos, leaving many residents homeless. The housing project is expected to deliver relief for those in search of affordable housing more than 2 years after that catastrophic storm. The housing initiative will include some 48 homes, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, and 3-bedroom and 2-bath homes that will be constructed through public-private partnerships. Applicants attended a home fair at the government complex yesterday, a one-stop shop for residents to qualify. Now, Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis and Minister of Housing JoBeth Coley Davis were in Abaco for a groundbreaking ceremony. The nation's leader noting that the affordable homes will be built at a relatively low cost, but consistent with the standard of quality envisioned for that neighborhood. Now, Grand Bahama finishing in the top 10 in the beach experience category of the USA Today Reader's Choice Travel Awards. Tony Macaroni had his conch experience on the Tino Beach, closing out the top 10. That's behind beach bars in Anguilla, Turks and Caicos, and Grenada. Marketing consultant with the Grand Bahama Promotion Board, Carmel Churchill, calls it a great accomplishment.
That Tony Macaroni conch experience is still relevant in our tourism market today, as well as the destination Grand Bahama Island. And so for next year, we just need to work a little bit harder in making sure that he climbed the scale. Congratulations to Tony Macaroni's conch experience for ranking within the top 10 best Caribbean beach bars. Tony Macaroni has held this position for a number of years. And so for him to remain here, this is, it's still a win for Grand Bahama.
However, Grand Bahama did not make the top 10 in the beaches category. Fortune Beach and Gold Rock Beach were nominated. Churchill says much more work must be done to get the island back on top in the beaches category.
We're going to have to work a little bit harder to ensure that Grand Bahama gets within the top 10 and bring home a number 1 position. Grand Bahama has 44 named beaches on Grand Bahama Island, and so certainly we should be able to have our, at least 2 of our best beaches ranked within the top 10, as we've been before. Fortune Beach and Gold Rock Beach have been holding that position for quite some time. So it is disappointing that we're not in the top 10 beaches this year, but I'm sure that next year we'll be back.
Now, Banana Bay Resort was also nominated but fell short of the top 10 awards. Switching gears, a memorial service for the late Arthur Balfour taking place at the St. George's High School Gymnasium. On January 31st, the security officer was found dead at the school while working the midnight shift. Family members, colleagues, and friends gathered to pay their tribute and remember his life. It was a special ceremony filled with tributes in honor of a fellow colleague and friend. Senior Master of St. George's High School, Vincent Roll, organized the ceremony along with the principal and a member of the school board. He says it was only fitting for them to do so.
Well, Mr. Balfour was very important to the staff here at St. George's Senior High School. He was an instrumental part of our security department who made selfless sacrifices in order to do his job, even to the very day that he died. And we thought it'd be fitting that this death would go without us at least acknowledging his contributions and giving him the tribute that we believe he deserved.
Security Officer Arthur Balfour, who was assigned to the midnight to 8 a.m. shift, was found dead on campus. Scores of security officers from the division in Grand Bahama on hand to remember the life of their fallen comrade. The tentative officer in charge, Stephanie Comer Griffin, also describes Balfour as a dedicated man.
He joined our family in September of 2010, and he proved himself to be reliable, dedicated. He took his job serious. Mr. Balfour was always on time and always had kind words to say to all that he came in contact with.
She also says he was a loving individual.
As a matter of fact, everyone was Mr. Balfour's sunshine. In particularly, I thought that he was, but I learned today that I wasn't the only one. He made everyone he came in contact with feel loved at all times.
Freeport City Council members also showing their support to family members. Balfour's wife, Renee Balfour, says she is appreciative of the memorial service and notes that it was wonderful.
What I heard here today, it made me feel happy to know that he's my husband and he left his legacy for his children to sit back and listen to the sounding of love, what he produced on the outside of his home. I teach my children, and even when he do wrong, I would say to him, now you know you shouldn't do that. So whatever he produce out there, I enjoy every moment of it because I know what my family stand for. And it's a joy and privilege to know that he was well respected on the outside.
The funeral service will take place on March 5th at the Invaders for Christ Church, beginning at 11 a.m. Now, author Balfour would have celebrated his 59th birthday tomorrow. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Stay with us. There's more news when we come back.